how to install it, and how to download the RStudio. Okay, so let me just share the screen. Okay. Yes, I can share this one. So hope you can see this screen right now. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you just go to google.com, very simple. And the first thing that you need to install is our package. So there are two things that we need to run our programming efficiently. So the first thing is the R package itself. It means everything which we run on R, it has to be executed at some compiler, right? So that compiler is your R package. So first you say R download, let's say for Windows. You can write for Linux, you can write for Mac. Okay. Now, once you are here, the first link, the very first link, you just have to click the first link, and this is from where you can get it. So you say download, and it will download the exe file, and very easily you can just run it, right? Right, like any other exe file on your system. Okay, so those who doesn't have it, first just have it and download it, and after downloading just double click it and go with the default, all the default setting, and then install it on your system. So right now everyone has to do it, those who doesn't have it. In fact, if you already have it, you don't need to do it once again. Okay, if you have Mac, just say download R for Mac, and same for the Linux. Okay, so let me just give you some time so that all of you can download R and install it on your system. So we do have a polling option, I think, in Zoom, right? Okay, so I'm just looking for the options where we have the polling option on RStudio so that I can ask the question. But anyway, you guys just keep on doing whatever you are doing and let me know if you have installed it. And meantime, I will just look how to conduct a poll. Okay, so I got one installed. Keep doing it. And it's a very easy process. So installed. Okay. So if you already have it, great. If you don't have, just install it and say installed. Okay, waiting to install. One person is saying waiting to install. Installed. So many of you are installing. That's so good. So I don't see the polling option here which I thought maybe I should just do it, just to find out that how many of you have installed it. But looks like the polling option is not on, maybe on this package of Zoom. But we generally have polling option, right? Anyway, so I think many of you have installed, and that's great. Now then,
so Dr. Avinash, sorry to interrupt you. From next session, we will change our settings to have polling option in your classes.
Yes, yes. Okay, great. Because when we have so many students, so it is slightly difficult to get a common answer. So I have already installed. So if you have already it, that's great. Now, the second thing that we need to do is to install something called RStudio. Okay. So you just once again say RStudio download for Windows. And it will take you here where you just have to go to the bottom and from here you can get all the RStudio version for Windows, for Mac, Ubuntu, everything. Okay, so I think you just need to click, if you are using Windows, the first option, RStudio. I'm just pasting this link in the chat box so all of you can just download it. Okay, and just install it, same as you have done it with R. Yes, and once the RStudio is also installed, just let me know. So one guy said, Vikram, saying R package installed both 32 and 64. No, that depends on which system you are using. So I think most of you must be using 64-bit system these days. So just go with the 64. I'm sure that you must be using the 64. Okay, go ahead and keep typing. So these are the initial days of the workshop. So all of you guys must be very excited. I know that as the time goes on, your excitement will also drop. And that is very much human nature. So that there is nothing wrong in that. But just you have to keep yourself up. Okay, okay. So somebody is not on mute. So you have to mute yourself, please. Okay. So this is, this is the disadvantage sometimes. So when you are not at your workplace, if you are at home, so home has an intrinsic nature of a place where you find where you are relaxed, right? So now work from home has this disadvantage because you are working from a place which is meant to be relaxed. Okay, can the organizer every time we have session mute everyone else, please? Okay, annoying, every session is the same and someone comes with their noise. Okay. Fine. So I know that it is annoying sometimes, and it is more annoying for instructor, in fact. But this is what I'm saying. Nobody is doing it deliberately. So, but the thing is, when you are working from home, these are the things that comes on. Okay. So all of you, I hope, have installed RStudio. And the moment it is done, just search it in the search bar. Okay, Gayatri, so it will be installed. And this installation is dependent on the speed of the installation, dependent on the internet speed. So that's why some of you have already installed. You may have some better speed. And please, once again, I think mute yourself, please. All of you mute yourself. Video is paused. Okay. Is it? So my video is fine, right? Anyway, if even if the video is okay, if even if it is paused or stuck, it's okay until unless my audio is fine. And by the way, I'm not doing anything with the screen, so that's why maybe if you see the same screen, it is okay. Done. If you have done it, go to your search bar and search R Studio. Don't search R package. So Praveen, I think maybe if you can just mute everyone, I think that was a good suggestion. Somebody is not.
Sir, we have muted all. You can unmute yourself.
Okay. Okay, fine. So if you have already installed both the package, now the next thing is like I'm using right now Linux. So Ubuntu. So I go to activities. The same way you have to go to search bar of Windows, right? And the moment I go to activities, the way you go to search bar, okay. So maybe you guys are not able to see it. So let me just share the entire screen. Okay. So,
Excuse me, sir. How to
yes.
install RStudio in Linux, Windows?
In Linux?
Yes.
So you are using Linux?
No, I don't use Linux, but I just want to know how to install the package.
Okay, who is there?
Pardon?
What's your name?
Vijina.
Vijana. Okay. Vijana, if you are not using Linux, I think it is okay not to know it, but if you are curious to know.
Okay.
So, you know, Google has a complete list of command.
Okay. Okay.
To how to install RStudio on Linux. So you just have to say how to install RStudio.
Okay.
So instead of I am just dictating the same thing, which is already there on web, I think it is better. So this you go to download and install. This is for R. The same way you can get it for the RStudio.
Okay. Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thanks.
So it's so easy these days to find everything which is so this is for our studio on Linux. You can see this R Studio on Ubuntu through the terminal. You just have to type these commands and you will get it. Okay. Okay. So now if I go to activities and say R, so I get two options. One is R Studio, one is only R. So don't get confused. So this logo, which has only R written on it. So guys, can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
It's visible.
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay, okay, great.
Yes,
so, so you just you don't click this R. You click R Studio, double click it, and it will be open, and you will see something like this, or in fact, not exactly like this. Just maybe. So all of you opened it.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So yeah. So all of you must be seeing something like this. at your terminal.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and this must be cleaned. This also must be cleaned, or there must be something here. So now, once you see this, there are three panels here on RStudio. So first of all, let's understand that what is RStudio. So RStudio is just an environment, okay? So it is called IDE, and IDE is a common term for programming, where IDE stand for Integrated Development Environment. Okay, so it means that it is giving you the environment where you can code, right? So let's say Anaconda. Anaconda has one package which is called Jupyter. Okay, so Jupyter is also one IDE where you are typing your code. You may type, if I don't think that you guys have done it in past, but means when we started programming at that time, there were very few IDE. So for C++ programming, even for the Java also, we have a very crude kind of IDE where we have to type our codes. Okay, but nowadays there are very sophisticated IDE which can help you a lot. It is giving, not only giving you the environment, but also sometimes suggesting you that what you should type, where is the error, what is the output, everything, right? So one kind of IDE is called RStudio, which is used only for R programming. Okay. Now this, once the moment you start it, you will see multiple screens or multiple panels on your screen. The first panel is called console, right? So if you see that there is something called written here at console here. Now on the left hand, on the right hand side, we have something environment, history, connection, right? And then on the right hand side at the bottom half, we have files, plot, package, help, lots of things, right? The things which we need to understand is console. Console is a place where you type your command. Okay. And this is also a place where you see your output. Okay. So for me, console is very important. And definitely for all of us, console is very important panel. But one of the limitation of console is that it does not have a capacity to store your commands or your instructions. Okay, so let's say that if you are typing any command or writing any code on console, it will run, but it will run only that time. The moment you shut down everything or you close this RStudio, the next time when you will open it, you will lose all the command. Okay, so this is, which is not good, right? Because if you want to write some code, you want to save it. So for saving it, the next thing that you need to do is go to the file and say new file rscript. Click this, or the shortcut for this is Control Shift N. Now the moment you do this, you will come here, untitled something. Okay, all of you. Is there anything in the chat box? Because guys, I'm not able to see the chat box right now.
That's what I got.
Okay. Okay, so let me see the chat box if there is anything on the chat. Maybe restart. I downloaded and run application, but I can't see. Not see my search bar. Maybe restart, then you can see it. Okay. No, I mean, so let me first ask you, Bhuban, have you seen it, or you got it, or still you are searching for RStudio? Bhuvan and Pratibha. Still searching? Okay. So you installed it, right? And you are also searching. So you guys installed it properly? Yes. So when you click all program, go to the Windows sign, which is on the left hand corner. Go to all program or all apps and go to R, means the letter R, and just look for it. I mean, if it is installed, it must be there. Yeah, that's fine. You can say okay. But have you seen that, Pratibha? Did you able to get it? Anyone else? Okay, if it appeared, great. Now the next thing is that we will go to view, go to panes, and then say console on right, because I just want to see my console. So right now, if you can see that the console has gone at the bottom and I'm not able to see it properly. So I'll just move it to right. So the moment you move it to right, the console now is here. So once again, the chat is gone. So guys, it's really because I cannot keep my chat box on because it is taking space on my screen, and then I'm not able to, you guys may not be able to see that portion of my screen. Yeah, I don't think that is our GUI. I don't know, Pratibha, what you have installed, because this is clearly saying R Studio, nothing else. Okay, so guys, I'm just switching off my video so that you will get that the hindrance that you are might be getting right now will go off. And if you have any problem or anything, you can unmute yourself and say because I cannot see the chat box. Now you see that there are two panes, which is here is called the script pane, and this is something called console. So script has something where you can store your command. Okay, but when you are running the script, you will, if it has something to show, it will be shown on the console. This is how console and script are related. Okay, at the bottom there are many tabs. The one which is most important is called plots. So right now it is very clean because we have not plotted anything, but the moment we will plot, we will see that how it works. Okay, so the first thing is we can change the directory. Okay, why changing the directory is required? So sometimes let's say that you want to go into a directory where your data is lying, right? So if your data is, let's say, in some directory, you want to switch it to that directory, then it is very easy for you to access the data. So go to session and then go to set directory, set working directory, and say choose directory. So suppose I just want to go to desktop, I will select desktop and say open. And you can see that it has set the directory desktop. How you can be sure? You go to console and say get wd, and you will get a path, and see that if you are at desktop. So for going there, once again, I'm repeating it. Okay, there is once again some chat. Set WD is not coming. Okay. So you go to session go to set working directory, and then say choose directory and choose your directory. Say choose directory and choose your directory. And the moment you are done, you will be there wherever you have chosen your directory. And to confirm, you type this command on the chat box. Sorry, on the console. So I don't send me direct message. If you have any question, please send it on everyone. Otherwise, it becomes default for that person only. And so my message also go to that person only. If I forget to, take it back to everyone. Okay, so fine. I hope that get WD is till get WD you are done with it. Yes.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
I don't have any directories, so how can I go to get WD? And moreover, I'm also not finding set WD option, which is mentioned in your console.
No, no. So this set WD comes automatically. I have not done anything. And how it is possible that you don't have a directory on your system? You are working on Windows.
Yes, I'm working on Windows. It's Windows 11, and I'm
Okay.
installed as you mentioned, but
Okay.
I'm not getting the set WD, which is coming. If you want, I can share.
No, no, don't share. Just follow it. Go to session.
Okay.
Go to session. Go to
Yes.
set working directory and then choose directory. Okay.
Okay.
So what you are seeing right now after choose directory?
There are 5 folders. One is for my computer, that is Dell. Then
And
folder.
these folders are actual directory. Okay.
So one
So and on the left hand side, can you see desktop, downloads, document, right? You can see all these options,
yes.
right? So these are the directories, right? So wherever you want to go, you can go. Let's say you want to go to D drive.
Okay.
So D is a directory, right? Under D drive, if you want to go somewhere, go there, just select it and say open.
Okay.
Yeah, so say D, select D drive
Okay.
and say open. At the bottom, say open.
Okay.
And can
Okay.
you see? Yeah, you
Yes, yes.
got
I
it.
got the set WD and then F because I've
Good.
opened.
Okay, so now say get WD, all of you at the console and see this, how it is coming. Okay.
Okay.
Sir,
When,
excuse me.
yes.
Sir, can you please repeat once more that how to move the console towards right? Because I'm not getting that option.
Okay, so you go to view, go to panes, and in panes you can say console on left, console on right. So click the console on right. Done?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay, now the next thing that we are going to do is, because I want to save my command, and as I said, the script file is responsible for saving your commands. It means that you need to save the script file itself, right? So the next thing I'm going to do is to save the script file. So right now it is saying untitled, very much like the first time when you open a Word file, right? So the first time it is say untitled one. So go to file and say save as, and wherever you want to save. So I generally prefer to save where maybe if I change my directory to desktop, I will save it at desktop and say workshop decode day 1. And the extension for this is .r, like for bird is .doc, .x. For a R script, it is .r, capital R, uppercase R, and say save. And then now you can see that the name of the file at the top, it means if you now go to desktop, if I go to desktop, I can see this file.
Sir,
Okay.
sorry, sir. Can you repeat once more?
Okay. Guys, you have to please focus your 100% here right now for the whole 1 hour session. Otherwise, there are lots of people. And if I would repeat, I can repeat 100 times, but only the time is the problem, right? So go to file, go to save as, and just save it with the name workshop decode day1.r. Don't give any space in between. This is a common practice. Don't use any space when you are naming a file.
Excuse me.
Yes.
Is it necessary to put the extension .r?
Yes, of course it is necessary.
Okay. But normally, though, it takes the system takes it for that.
Normally it takes, but even normally also it takes, because when we are using Windows has an inbuilt programming for taking a text file, doc file, Excel file, right? But this is something which is not a part of my operating system. This is something external, right? So
Okay.
that's why.
Okay, thanks.
So that's why it is advisable. Okay, fine. Now the next thing, now we will start coding. Now we will start learning the concept. So this is just to set up. So for setting the thing, we have already used half an hour. The rest half an hour, we will try to learn few things, and we will start from basics, and we will keep on increasing our level, going to advanced level every day. Okay. Now the first concept that I want you guys to understand is variables. Okay. Now, even before that, I would tell you that here where the cursor is blinking, and I treat all of you that you guys are very new for R. So please don't mind if I'm going very basic, because some of you might be very advanced, but this workshop is for everyone. Okay, so even if you know, just bear with us for some time, and then you will get something interesting for yourself. When we are writing on the script file, and we are starting a line with hash sign, it means it's a comment. Okay. If you are not starting with a hash line, it means it's a part of the code or command or instruction. Okay. So the first thing, and I'm writing this hash just to explain you. Okay. It's commenting just to explain you. Nothing like very significant for this. So the first thing we are going to learn is variables. Okay. So you know that variables is something which can be changed or which can take a new value every time or whenever you want. Okay. For now, the next instruction is, if you want to run your particular line, then for that you can either go to the line and say this, click this button run, or go to the line and say control enter. That line will be executed. This is called execution. So many times, especially the beginners or the new one who is starting with R, they do this mistake. They think that writing a code means execution of a code. No, writing means just you have written it, you have to execute it. So now we will start with variables and say a variable name X, and I'm assigning a value to variable, and the value is 3. Okay. Hope it's fine. All of you need to write with me, guys. It's
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so all of you need to write the same thing which I'm writing, and I'm writing very simple, very easy, so you guys can follow me. x equal to 3. Now, if I say x equal to 3 and don't press Control Enter, it will not be executed. So I will go to the end of the line and say Control Enter. The moment I say Control Enter, on console, I can see this same line. It means it is executed. Do it on your own. Okay, so what I'm doing here, x equal to 3, what exactly I'm doing? Can you tell me? Okay, let me just
So we are
go
taking a
Storing the
value for
value
x.
to
Okay.
x.
Okay, so let me just now on the chat box, and I just made my windows in such a way that we can see the chat box also. Okay. Sorry guys, somebody was saying something. Maybe you can raise your hand. I can see it. Yeah, 4 participants raise your hand. So who are these participants? Okay. So guys, you are raising your hands, but I'm not able to see your names here. This is something which is irritating because I shared my screen. So okay, sorry, maybe okay, you type it on the chat box. That I think is okay, because this is just a small question. For a more conceptual question, I will ask you to say. So this is absolutely correct. People are saying that assigning 3 to a variable. Now assign your name to a variable called y. All of you assign your own name, but 3 is a number which can be understood by the program, but your name is not something which can be understood by a program, right? So when there is something which is not a number, we have to put that thing inside a double quote, especially string or character. So let's say I'm saying y equal to Avinash. You know that when we say double quote, you might have seen it in when people talk, they sometimes show it with their hands and double quotes. It means as it is, right? So you take Avinash as it is. This is what exactly we are saying. And execute this line also. You can use your name. And now I just want to check that whether these assignments has been done properly or not. So I would call a function which is called print, P-R-I-N-T, and then bracket. So whenever there is something which has this kind of bracket, that is called function. So print is one such function, and this is especially a function which is already built in, that are called library function. So you are not writing a function, this is already there in R. So you are just calling it print, and inside the bracket you say X. Similarly, print, inside the bracket you say Y. Go to the end and say Control Enter. The moment you Control Enter, on console you can see this value 3, and this is your value, right? If you go to line print Y, you can see Avinash. Because now I'm saying print my X and Y. Right? All good?
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, Divya.
Sir, when I am executing x equal to 3, it is not executing, but when I am executing y, it is executing. So what is the matter?
I don't think that.
When I
For me also same thing happening. The name is executing and the x is the value of x is not executing.
Can you paste your that command on the chat box, please, quickly? Okay, and rest
Sir,
of
I
you.
think they have moved the cursor to the Y code and they have not moved the cursor towards X. So if we place the cursor after X, it will come the value.
Okay, cursor issue. No, print XY also it showed me error. Shobita, but I did not tell you to print X comma Y. So please, guys, you need to go with me. I'm already going at very, decent pace. Okay. Now, the next, so this thing we have already done, print X and Y. And this variable has a limitation. Suppose, okay, so now Shobita she has done it. Don't tell me what's just showing the error. Can you just paste your error with this message that this is the error? Mine is also showing error, Swati. I understood, but what is that error? And what is your command? I asked Vijita to.
Sir, I'm not I'm not getting error, but I'm not getting yeah, now it's getting, sir.
Even sir,
Okay.
I have also repeat the same thing. I have done again. Now it executed.
Yes.
So maybe your computer is a bit stubborn and that's why it is taking 2 times. Okay, error in print Y object. So if it is saying object Y is not found, it means that the line Y you have not executed. Please go back and say control enter. Okay, Parth, Kunal, Swati, all of you. Okay, now the next thing is, this is just to collect one variable or store one value, right? What if I want to store multiple value? Okay, if it is done, good. Just come back and see my screen right now. If you want to store multiple value, then the first kind of storage or the data structure, generally we say in programming, is called vector. Okay, so the vector is for storing your values, the multiple values. Okay, so suppose my first vector is x underscore vector, and you can either give a space, you can not give a space, that's all up to you. X underscore vector, and I want to store, let's say, multiple numbers. So for that, I cannot say 1, 2, 3, 4. I cannot say like this. Okay. So there is a way to do it, and there is a function to use here for storing multiple value in a vector, and that function is called C function. Okay. C stands for combine. So this is now combining your multiple value and assigning it to a vector called x underscore vector. So type C angular bracket, and inside it, just type all your values with comma in between. Okay. So say 1, comma 2, comma 3, comma 5. Okay. Yes, some way it is similar to array. So it is like one-dimensional array. Okay. X underscore this. You can also, and by the way, this X underscore vector, Y underscore vector is just a name. You can give any name. You can say my vector. Okay. And then you can say your vector. Okay. And then in this vector, let's say I'm storing the name of the cities, like the very like a string. Let's say I'm saying Delhi, and then Chennai, and then Bangalore. Okay. Suppose this is now executed, because I have not executed. You can see that here there is nothing. So I went back to this line or I can select both the line the way you select and say control enter. Both the line will be executed. And then I can come here and say print my underscore vector. And you will see this, and you can also say your underscore vector. You will see the name. Okay, all of you just do this. This is very common, very, very simple. So all of you can do it. Fine. Now, I'll take another example, and this example is slightly, I would say, sophisticated. And this is y vector. You can also type it, and I will also type it here. Let's say y underscore vector is equal to C, and then say, let's say I'm storing the name of fruits. Okay, let's say apple, comma, grapes. You can store whatever you want, but it would be advisable that if you use the same set, so that when we are running the commands, we will get the same result. Let's say banana, and then apricot, and then orange. This time I'm just storing a little bit more values, and then coconut. Okay, so this is what I stored. This is my vector. So I'm just pasting this on your chat box. Just copy it if you don't want to type it. Okay, and just print y vector, just to confirm that you have assigned correctly. Okay, all of you would see the name of all those fruits at your console. If you can see it, it means yes, you have executed correctly. Guys, can you say that yes or no?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So type it. Don't type to me, type to everyone. Everyone should know that you are done. Okay. Now we are going to, so this is storage or assignment. Now, what if I want to fetch the elements? So great, guys, now come back to my screen and see that how we are fetching the element. The first is how you fetch a single item. Okay, because you store your data at some place because you want to fetch it at some point of time, right? So that's why it is important that how you fetch it. Okay, so let's say I'm trying to fetch the single item. Okay, so in single item, you just have to type the name of the vector. So my vector is y underscore vector, and square bracket, not the angular bracket, but the square bracket. And inside square bracket, you have to type the index. So suppose if I type 3, okay, and this line has some output, so you need not to say print. It will automatically print because it has some output. So you say this and control enter, and then you will see banana. So banana at 1, 2, 3 position. So if you want to know that what you have stored, because this is very simple data set, so it is very easy to know. But when the data set is complex or the data is complex, then it is much more meaningful, right? What you have stored at third index. So the index would go inside the square bracket. Always and always, when you are fetching data, you use the square bracket. Then suppose single item is fine. What about the multiple items? Multiple items. Now in multiple items, the first is continuous, continuous multiple item. So suppose I want to know y vector from first index to third index. All these are continuous. So it will say y vector square bracket 1. Okay, so every time, please listen to me carefully. When it is saying something is not found, go back to where you have defined. So this is definition, right? Or the assignment. Go back to assignment and just control enter once again. It means when it is not found, it means you have not executed. And that's why it is not there in the memory. Now, when you want to fetch continuous item, it is 1:3. Okay, colon, semicolon and colon. You remember that there is a on keyboard you have a button for that. Okay, fine, great. And y1:3, you will see apple, grapes, and banana. Did you see that? Apple, grapes, and banana?
Yes, sir.
Just type it. Just type it. Yes or no, you can type. If there is anything subjective, please go to the more. Okay, great. Okay, just this many. How about others? Still, we have all the attendees here. If you are lazy, just type y at least. Okay, so this is how you fetch multiple items that are continuous. What about if they are not continuous? So I'm saying multiple items but non-continuous. So this time I would go and say vector, okay, and once again the bracket will come, but inside bracket there will be a difference. Inside bracket you will use the C function once again, the function that you use to assign to the vector. And inside this, you will use C function, because C function has nothing to do with assignment or fetching. It is only for combining. So inside C, I will say, get me the value of index 1, index 5. There are 5 index. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes. And index 2 or 3. That's it. Any order. So I will get apple, orange, and then banana. Apple is at 1, orange is at 5th, and banana is at 3rd. Great.
Yes, sir.
Nothing is sophisticated. You just have to use this. If by chance, if you're not able to type this command, I'm just pasting it on the chat box. Guys who is having, it's okay. Maybe first time if you are
Perfect.
going.
Perfect, sir. Perfect.
Yeah, you got that?
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. So it is okay that first time you can make some mistake, and this programming language, they don't know that we are new to them. So it is very harsh. So now what about except one or except few? Means except few of them, you want everything. Okay, so instead of typing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you can say just accept this. So how to go for the except? is y vector. Suppose I don't want the first, so I will say -1, 1 with a minus sign, and it will print everything except 1. Okay. If I don't want, so let me check how many of you can do it. So this is for except 1. I am pasting in the chat box. Now you guys have to type a command which will print except 1 and 6. If you guys can type this command correctly, and this is, if this is your first class, then it's really great. Then you can just, okay.
Excuse me, sir.
So
Sir, when we are running all this command, why this command is not working, not continuous? Rest all is working, but only this command is showing error, non-continuous.
which command?
So not which is used for non-continuous.
Can see Divya, right?
Yes, yes.
So Divya, I cannot see your screen, right? So you need to paste your command.
Sir, actually, I'm logging from 2 systems. I am working on another system and attending this lecture on from other system.
So then how can I help? You tell me that. If I don't know what you are typing, how can I tell you that what is wrong? There must be
Sir,
something wrong, right? So I cannot tell you, means until unless you paste it here. What you are pasting, can you verbally say?
I have pasted same command which you have typed.
What is that?
Instead of y vectors, I have taken the z vector, because initially I have taken the z vector, z underscore vector, and square bracket c, then small brackets 1, 5, 3, and then I have again closed the both brackets.
Okay. Okay. Then what is the output? Tell me.
Sir, it is showing error object z vector not found, but I have executed again. Z vector is there, but it is showing same error again and again.
Can you check whether the z is in uppercase or in lowercase both the time?
So same cases are there.
No. Okay.
Lower cases.
Huh?
So both times. Okay.
Okay.
I got.
Oh,
Sir, I found the mistake. I found the mistake.
what is that mistake?
Sir, I have typed vectors, not vector.
Right. So first instruction is please use a single machine. Don't do this, otherwise I won't be able to help you out. Okay. Now all of you guys did a brilliant job, because many of you pasted your command that how you can avoid first and sixth, and all of you are correct. All of you, I think none of you made any mistake. I don't know how many of you are having the first time, but if it is the first time, it's maybe you can celebrate it. So -1, -6, and that's great. I will get everything apart from the first and the sixth index. Okay. Now, though the time is over, but let me just go one step more and tell you that there are some, functions, inbuilt function, which can be applied directly to your vector. Okay. So suppose now I'm once again defining a new vector, and name is new uppers v. Okay. And the values are, let's say 1.25. I can store this kind of value also, 2.34, 5.78, and 9.81. Okay. And just execute it. And if you guys want to use the same thing, I'm pasting it in a chat box. Please copy and paste on your Windows. Okay. Now there is a function called sum with a lowercase, guys. If you make a mistake in a spelling in uppercase, lowercase, program will not understand. Okay. So you have to be very, focused when you are typing your variable's name or the name, any name. Sum is a function, so sum and then bracket. And if I inside the bracket I say new v, so I'm passing my vector to function sum so that it can sum it. So I cannot sum y vector because all these are names. What will happen with the names? Summation of the names. But here it can be summed up and the value is 19.18. Similarly, there are many other like mean, okay, average, which is also called average. If I say mean, so the mean is 4.7. I can also find log of all these. These are the log values. I can also find what is the standard deviation of this vector, which is SD. And it will tell me that 3.8 is the standard deviation. What is the variance? VAR and mu V. This is the variance. What is the length? So length function and mu V. So what is the length of my vector is 4. Okay. So mu V is not defined, Swati. So can you go and execute the new V line? So I'm pasting everything here, guys.
Yes.
Yes, please mute yourself. No. Okay, please mute yourself.
So actually what is happening is when I'm executing new V line, I'm getting the whatever it is written in that new V line, whatever I'm initializing that vector, but I'm not getting the sum of it. The function is not getting performed.
Can you paste the new V line?
Okay, sure, sir.
Okay, guys. So this is it for today's session. We are done. I pasted the command on your system and hope you can just now do it. Paste it on your console or on your.
Just a quick question. Does it make a difference for the spacing before and after when you use the equal sign?
Oh, no, I said no.
Right.
Yeah, see. Yeah, it's Swati, it's fine. And you say control enter.
Yes, I did the control enter. Then it's just showing this line in the console. In the console, that just line is coming. That's all. The sum is not happening.
No. So you need to print the sum command.
I see the length.
Okay, just wait.
Sir, I think she's not selecting the commands and then running.
Yeah. So Praveen, can you mute everyone once again? This person is disturbing a lot. I don't know who is it. Length spelling is definitely wrong, Kunal.
Yes, sir. It happened actually. I selected the both commands together and did the control press enter, and then now the sum is coming. So I was just doing the control press enter of the single line, sum new V. So that was the issue.
Okay, Swati, great if it is working. And believe me, we don't have, programming doesn't have anything to do with us personally. So if we make any mistake, then only it pop up some error. Okay, so guys, I hope that all of you enjoyed today's sessions, starting from the basic and learn about the vector and the variables. Tomorrow, once again, we will meet at the same time, right? And see a little bit more about the data structure. Okay.
Sir, excuse me, sir. I have one doubt. What does the new V stands for? Like?
No, this is just a name, Gayatri.
All right. So we can assign anything to that.
Anything you can say Gayatri is equal to C function.
So like in that case, we don't have to use the double slash means brackets. Like the computer can't recognize the other names or anything, variables or anything, right?
No,
so how
variable names you can use any, like y underscore vector, z underscore vector. Those are the variables name. So you can use whatever you want.
So the commands line, you can use anything. any command you can give.
Yes, but only with the variable's name. Let's say sum function, the summation function that we used. You have to use sum. You cannot use anything else. Okay. So these are called keywords, like the C function. Okay. So you always have to use whatever is defined in the data in the programming. But when you want to declare any variable, you can choose your name or whatever the name you want.
Okay.
Okay. So if you want to understand it, just hold on. If you want to understand in a very one line kind of thing. So anything which comes before the double equal to sign or equal to sign on the left hand side, you can play with it. Anything which comes after left hand side or the right hand side, that you cannot. Okay. Thank you so much, Akansha. Okay, it was wonderful. Thank you, Akansha. You explained everything very beautifully. Thank you.
Sir.
Yeah, who is there?
Please, I want to know if there are a difference between upper and lowercase.
There is what, uppercase and lowercase?
Yes.
What can you repeat it?
For example, between a big C and small c, upper and lowercase.
Yes, there is a difference.
In all the case and all, or only in the function?
Yeah, everywhere. So suppose when I'm declaring a variable, if first time I'm saying uppercase y underscore vector, and next time I'm saying lowercase y underscore vector, it will say that lower underscore y vector is not found.
Okay.
So you have to stick with the case. It's very case sensitive.
Okay,
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah. So we will meet tomorrow. Don't worry. Yeah. So let me take this last one.
Suppose we have executed one command with some variables and with some values, and if we want to again execute that same command with different values, so whether we have to
override,
copy paste or just
override. It will override.
It will overwrite.
Yeah. So then the last value will go and the new value will come.
Okay.
Afnan, can R be used on other IDE tool like Jupyter? I don't think so. I have not used it. I used Jupyter only for Python.
So thanks, Dr. Avinash.
Okay.
So
thank you.
Your session is amazing. So most of the people are flooded the chat box with thanks message, and thanks for your wonderful presentation style. And we want to know, or we want to tell our participants that Decode Live have some services to offer to our participants, like drug discovery and many different services on metagenomics or NGS data analysis. We have also tell about this in our introductory session, and you can explore more about our services and solutions by simply clicking decodelive.co.in. It will land on our page and help you to find what services we offer. So thanks Dr. Avinash.
Thank you.
We will share the session of Dr. Avinash with you as soon as possible, along with the relevant chat and script. Thank you, sir.
Yes. So I will just share this script file which we have written here today. But most of you have written it with me. But in that case also I will share it. Okay. Thank you everyone. We'll meet tomorrow.
Sir, now I will seek your permission for ending today's
session.
Yes,
please.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.